Hi there, welcome to my channel. I'm Angela from artery.com. What we're going to do today is just look at a few ways to add a bit of shine, glimmer or glitter to your sentiments. I mean, it doesn't just have to be used for sentiments. I mean, you can use it for normal die cuts as well. But the very first method I'm going to show you is the cheapest, very cheap method, and it looks really nice as well. So this is what you end up with. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know if you can see how shiny that is. I'm right in front of the window, so I don't know if you can see the shine. But it's very glossy, and it does look really nice. And the very easy way to do this is just by using packing tape. Just put your packing tape down on a piece of, I mean, these methods are really good for using your scraps as well. So just put it down as seamlessly as you can. So there you have a nice glossy surface for cutting out your sentiment or whichever die that you want to use. So you are constrained by the actual width of your packing tape. I did try it with 2 pieces of packing tape, tried to get it even, but you could tell where the seam was. So if you have like really large ones, this probably isn't going to work unless you can be a bit more accurate than I was. And then all you have to do is just die cut it as normal. Just make sure that it's right in the inside the packing tape. And because you're going through packing tape and card, I like to put a bit of a shim on as well, just to give it that little bit extra pressure. Yes, that's worked nicely, and it gives you a bit of extra strength when it comes out as well. It's not as fragile, it's not going to tear or anything like that. So I still don't know if you can see that. I wonder if I should try it with black so you can see how shiny it is. I'll give it another go using some dark, well, this is brown, but same thing. I think this card must be a little bit thicker because it hasn't quite cut through there. You can always put it through 2 or 3 times depending on the amount of, yeah, that hasn't cut through there because of that. I obviously didn't put enough pressure on it, but never mind. It was basically just to show you how glossy, like you can see the gloss on that a lot better, can't you? And that looks really nice, I think. Nice little shine. But yeah, I could have done with some more pressure on that, but never mind. Another way you can add glitter to your sentiments just by literally using a glitter cardstock. Again, I'm going to use those 2 pieces of card as a shim. I find glitter cardstock can sometimes be a bit difficult to get through. That has cut through lovely. Oh, I love that. That is really nice. And of course you can cut out as many of these as you like and just put them away and just get them out when you need them. So what I did with one of these was I often make little thank you cards for customers who buy from my store, and this is just to show you what it would look like if it was on a card or something like that. And I just think it gives a nice little sparkle. That's really nice, that. Another way is to use mirror card. This gives a lovely gold. It's kind of like a foil effect, but obviously it isn't foil. But it gives a really nice effect anyway. Just move. And that is lovely. So shiny and so pretty. And like I say, you get a kind of a foiling effect with it, and it looks lovely on a card. That I don't think I've done a card with that one for a while, but I think it's something I need to do more of, cutting out of gold mirror card. It just looks really lovely. Another obvious way to do it is to use Glossy Accents. So I'll just cut this out. So when you're using Glossy Accents, you can either stick down the sentiment or the die cut first and then put the Glossy Accents on, or you can do it beforehand. I couldn't find, I do have a bottle of proper Glossy Accents like the branded stuff, but I can't find it. So I got this instead from Temu, and it actually works really well. Just remember, don't shake it up beforehand or you'll end up with air bubbles in. But you just add it to your sentiment or die cut straight out of the bottle. You just have to be a little bit careful, but I don't know if I can hold that up for you to see without wrecking it, but you can see there that it does have a little bit of a like an opaque look, but that will dry completely clear. So what I normally do is just set this aside and just let it dry. I normally, if I'm going to do this, I normally do it at the end of the day or whenever I'm finished crafting, and just leave it overnight, and you end up with something like that. I don't know. Yeah, you can see I got a few air bubbles in down there, but you can see how lovely and glossy that is. You can see it gives it a little bit of dimension as well. But I think that's lovely. The only thing about this is that it takes so long to dry. The fastest way to do it is using the packing tape, but this is a really lovely way because you get the gloss and you get the dimension. But as I said, it just takes a good while to dry. So I'm going to put this away somewhere and come back and show you another method. So another really, really good way to add beautiful shine to your cards and other projects is to use foil. Now, I don't have a foil machine or anything fancy like that because I don't think I would use it enough. It wouldn't be a legitimate expense for me because I just wouldn't use it. But what I do have is a video which I'll leave in the description showing you the different ways you can add foil to your sentiments and other die cuts. But what I found was quite fast for me was using this. It's sticky embossing powder. So I'm going to show you how to use this. You do need to use a stamp, and you do have to be fairly quick to get the embossing powder, to get the foil stuck down onto the embossing powder, but that's okay, I managed it. So you just need a piece of card. It doesn't need to be that big, so I'll cut it down. I mean, obviously you can do this on the actual card layer that you're using, but you do have to use heat on this, so it could sort of warp whatever you're putting it on. So if you want to do this first and then die cut it out or fussy cut it out, that might be the best way to go. I haven't done any embossing for a while. I haven't used my heat tool for quite a while, so I did quite enjoy getting back into this again. So like I say, this is the sticky embossing powder that you need to use. So you just need to stamp as normal using your VersaFine or is it Versamark, whatever embossing ink that you have anyway. What I should have done first is get out the foil because it has to be put on fairly quickly. So I'm going to cut some of this off first. Just have to sort of guess how much that I need. Right, hopefully that'll be enough. I'm going to do that again just to give it a good coverage. Again, I should have done this on dark cards so you could see what I'm doing, and I always forget to use a powder brush before I do this, so you could end up with finger marks and grease and goodness knows what on here. I don't know why I always forget that. It's very annoying. So once you've got your powder on, there's no hurry at the moment, and then you just dry it as normal, and then you very quickly have to put that on. I'll show you the mistake I made earlier. So get this to full heat. Immediately put your foil over the top, while it's still hot, and that is hot, and give it a good squash down. Try and get all of it burnished. hopefully this will work out okay. It did the last time I did it. And then as you take it off, there you have it. Like I said, because I didn't use the powder tool, it's not quite as clean as it should be, but how lovely does that look? I mean, you're not going to get an absolutely perfect foiling effect with this, because the sticky embossing powder has like sort of a little bit of texture, I would say, but it still looks lovely, doesn't it? It looks really, really nice. And the mistake I made when I first did this was I thought you had to put it through your laminator. I didn't read the instructions properly. So I did all of that, the embossing, and I heat embossed it and what have you. And then I put it in a carry sheet and put it through my laminator, and that just didn't work very well at all. So this is the best way to do it. I did another one there. This is my first attempt, the hugs. And they just look really nice, don't they? I mean, there are lots of ways to use foil without having to have the expensive equipment that goes with it. Or like I said, I'll leave that video in the description where I go into the different types of ways to use foil. So I'll just bring everything back. I think this is everything. Yeah, I'll bring that one back even though it didn't cut through properly, just so you can see it. So there we have the packing tape. I don't know if you can see it on there still. My fault for using white, but you can see how glossy it is, and it looks really nice. Nothing wrong with that at all. And of course we have the glitter, which I just think is absolutely stunning. That's just beautiful. I love it. And in the same way of doing your glitter, you can do your mirror card as well. And then we had a look at the Glossy Accents, didn't we? And that just gives beautiful gloss and dimension. And last of all, your foiling, which I say there are many different ways to do these. So that's just a few different ways to add shine, glitter, shimmer. I mean, I suppose what I could have done as well is used this. You're not going to get glitter if you use a wink of Stella. You're not going to get the glitter, but you do get a nice little glimmer, just a nice little shine, but it's not really what I was wanting. But anyway, I hope that has helped. I hope that gives you some ideas for adding shine to your sentiments and die cuts. I mean, I could have done it to these as well if I'd wanted, but I just wanted that on there. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this has been helpful, and I really, really appreciate any interaction on my videos. Thank you for watching to the end. Thank you if you've subscribed, commented, shared this video. I really, really appreciate it. I appreciate you all. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye now.